Alright guys, so finally back to working on a Camry. Got mine in here this weekend. I got these new wheels on here. And got them on and noticed these brakes are pretty rusty and crusty and a little worn. So we're going to go ahead and address that this weekend. Wheels look super great, but when you see all the nastiness behind it, it kind of ruins the effect. So I went ahead and got some power stop brakes. But you'll notice these calipers are a little bigger. I did also go ahead and paint these red, leaving the rear brake stock, but these are the Highlander caliper. So they are a dual piston, meaning it has two pistons instead of one single piston, like the stock Camry brakes. And I believe the rotor size goes up. It's 11 inches stock Camry, and then the Highlander is about 13 inches if I recall. So we get a good, basically factory brake upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and start tearing into that and show you what it consists of. So first I'm going to be addressing the rear brakes. So let's go ahead and get these wheels off. So I imagine most of you guys know how rear brakes go, but for those who don't, I'm going to give you the basic rundown. So here you have your rear brakes. If we come to the back side of this caliper, you'll see there's a couple bolts. So what we're going to be focused on is this bolt here, if I can get it to focus. I'm going to take this bolt off here. This is for the caliper to caliper bracket. Then you have your caliper bracket bolt right here, and another one up here, and then this is the other caliper bolt. I want to take this off so I can swivel this, and then I'm able to slide the top one out, and we can take our brake pads off. Then we'll take these caliper bracket bolts off, and that'll allow us to get to the rotor. So I'll go ahead and do Alright, so while I have the rear brakes drying from painting, I'm going to go ahead and start knocking out the front brakes. So with the front brakes, since I'm going to be replacing the whole caliper and everything, what I'm going to do is not take these two bolts off, but I'm going to take the caliper brackets off, and I'm just going to set this aside, and then take the rotor off, and I'm going to hang all the new stuff up without the brake hose line being connected. That way I avoid leaving this open for super long. It just makes bleeding procedure a lot quicker and easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all this and start getting the new stuff hung up. So here's the rotors in comparison. So you have the stock Camry rotor here, and then the front rotor I went with a 2010 Highlander. I think like 08 and up pretty much will work. So if we measure here, stock rotor, if I can hold still here, about 290 millimeters. And then we come over here to the Highlander rotor, and we're at 320. So that's a 30 mil upgrade. And then also, you know, the dual piston, you're gonna have a lot more face on the brake pad itself. I'll put those in comparison as well. So now that that's on, I'll go ahead and hold the old caliper up just so you can see like a size comparison. So you guys see the caliper difference, and now here I have the pads on the right being the old stock Camry pad, and on the right, sorry, the left being the new Highlander pad. It's not, you know, a huge difference, but significant enough. If you don't want to fork out big money for a big brake kit, but you want something to fill in your wheel a little more, or maybe even you want better braking performance, this is definitely a good affordable route to go. It literally all bolts up, factory caliper bolts, everything. It's just so easy, and it looks good, having that nice dual piston, a little more rotor to fill up if you have aftermarket wheels. So this is if you don't want to go big brake kit and spend $2,000 to $3,000 on that, I think this was under $500 front and rear for me. So we'll go ahead and get this finished up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after. Alright guys, so I got the brakes done. Fronts look great. Definitely fills out the wheel just a little bit more, and we don't have a bunch of rust and corrosion hiding back behind there, so that's always fantastic. I got the rear done as well. Calipers painted up. Definitely not perfect, but that's not what we're going for here. We're just looking to clean up the look of the new wheels, and I needed brakes anyways, so just a quick rattle can job on the calipers. Did pretty good. So I'm gonna go over a parts list with you for this front Highlander conversion. Super simple, bolt on. You're not cutting, modifying anything. It literally bolts in as if it's OEM. So really all I'm gonna give you is a parts list. So we'll go over that here in a second. So I wanted to go over this in the end of the video for you guys. If you notice, my headlights are kind of trash, so I did buy these new V-Land headlights. I did order the chrome housing, but I got these instead, which I think overall will match the vibe of the car better, just being like a darker wheel with a diamond cut lip. So I'm going to go ahead and probably keep these. I'm also doing an oil pan. Smashed it into the ground one too many times. As you guys know, with the V6 cars, the oil pan just hangs way too low to the ground. And if you lower your car, it's just really susceptible to damage. So the cure for that, I went ahead and bought a new engine mount set. This is some brand I found on Amazon. Looks pretty nice. I guess I'll find out. But I still get this question to this day of how I raised my engine on my old car. It's really fairly simple. All you need to do is with the engine in the car, you'll take, you know, a jack or something, you'll loosen all of your engine mounts and you'll raise them up, and you'll set, you can take, I took it was like steel bushings, almost like steel washers that were really thick, probably a 1/2 inch thick, and I went ahead and put them on all 3 studs on each engine mount. But I'll go over that in the next video. I'll be doing all that stuff, probably a radiator, lower control arms and stuff like that.
But I can see so clearly there's only one decision in the valley of vision.